Hello, welcome to another wiki procedure, and today we are going to look on how you can apply to get a recommendation letter for a non-governmental organization to open a bank account in Kenya. Down here below, we have given you a link which is going to direct you to our wiki procedure website page where you can get more information on how to go about the application process for you to get this recommendation letter. And on the right hand side of our screen, we have given you a select language option through which you can select the language which you easily understand by clicking on the downward pointing arrow and choosing one of the languages which will be displayed here. For example, by choosing Swahili, all the information on our wiki procedure website page will be translated to Swahili, and you'll be able to read through the information with ease, and you can also easily revert back to English by once again clicking on the downward pointing arrow and choosing English. We've included external links to other websites which you can visit and get more information on how to go about this application process for you to get the recommendation letter to be able to open a bank account for an NGO in Kenya. It is a requirement by the banks that you must have a recommendation letter from the NGO coordination board for you to be able to open a bank account for your NGO. This application form does not require this application does not require an application form for you to for you to fill. However, you are supposed to write an official application letter to the executive director, and we are going to look on how you're going to do that as we move on with the presentation today. But before we move on, I'll urge you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also the notification bell so you can get notifications every time we upload new content on our wiki procedure YouTube channel. So let's get back to our presentation. And the list of items that we're going to cover in this session include the need for the recommendation letter, the eligibility, the required documents, steps to follow while making the applications, the fees, the validity period, processing time, office location and contact information, and any other information that we may find relevant on how you can go about the application process for you to get the recommendation letter. So let's get to our presentation, which is brought to you today by wikiprocedure.com. The need for the recommendation letter. The recommendation letter enables a non-governmental organization to open a bank account. Banks in Kenya require a recommendation letter for you to be able to open a bank account. This recommendation letter can be can be obtained by writing a request letter to the non-governmental organization coordination board in Kenya. The eligibility criteria is that newly formed non-governmental organizations which want to open a bank account are eligible to apply. Also, already existing non-governmental organizations who want to open another bank account are also eligible to apply. The required documents. You need to write a formal letter addressed to the executive director requesting for the recommendation letter, and the request must be specific. You need to write which bank account you want to open. You have to open the account with, the signatories, and who is going to sign, who are the members who will be able to access the account. You also need original full board minutes signed by all registered officials stating signatories and signing instructions, and the minutes must also resolve to open a bank account. Steps to follow in making the application. This application can only be done in person, and the first step is that the board of directors of the NGO should carry out a meeting to open a bank account, and the minutes to the meeting should be taken and signed by all registered officials stating the signatories of the bank account and the signing instructions. The signing instructions may be one to sign, both to sign, or all to sign, depending on how you're going to agree with each other. The minutes should also have a clause, or should also state that you have resolved to open a bank account. Additionally, the minutes must also stipulate the specific bank and the signatories of an account, as well as the signing instructions. Note that all AGO bank account must have at least one Kenyan substantive board member as a signatory. So if it is an 3 to sign, one must be a Kenyan board member. 2, after you have done that, you should write an introduction letter, formal introduction letter addressed to the executive director of the NGO, National Governmental Organization Coordination Board, requesting for a recommendation letter, and the letter must be specific in terms of which bank account you want to open, who are the signatories and the signing instructions, and also the names of those who are going to open their to be signatories. And the letter must also specify the bank branch as signatories, as I've already stated. After that, you are now supposed to submit the introduction letter and the minutes to the Non-Governmental Organization Coordination Board. While submitting, or after submitting, you should then proceed to pay the processing fees, and a processing fee of 4,000 shilling is charged for the recommendation letter. The processing time for the recommendation letter is 1 day. Thereafter, the NGO contact person will be contacted by the NGO board and be issued with a recommendation letter. The NGOs are required to furnish the NGO coordination board with the account numbers immediately the accounts are opened. So it's that simple. There is no let me just get back. There is no application form which you're supposed to fill. You're just supposed to write an introduction letter and attach the minutes which you have already resolved to open the bank account, and the signatories and signing instructions you need to be also stated in the letter and also in the minutes. So it's that simple. The fees, processing fee is 4,000 per letter to be issued. So if you want to open 4 bank accounts, you need to pay 16,000, for you'll be issued with 4 letters, and you need to make 4 requests. So it's 4,000 per letter to be issued, and the payments are by check or cash should be made to the NGO's coordination board account, which you've already mentioned here, and which are located at the Cooperative Bank Coop House branch. And the validity of the recommendation letter is valid forever. Let's move on. The processing time, it takes 1 day for the recommendation letter to be prepared, and the office location and contact information for the Non-Governmental Organization Coordination Board. They're located at the 15th floor Cooperative Bank, Selassie Avenue, in Nairobi, Kenya. Their website is www.ngobureau.or.ke. You can visit their websites to get more information about their regional offices, and we have also listed the regional office contacts in our Wiki Procedure website page. Other information is that NGOs are required to furnish the NGO's coordination board with the accounts number immediately the accounts are open. So this is a very important fact which people overlook. So thank you for watching our presentation today, and as you have seen, it's quite simple to get the recommendation letter. Just to reiterate, the steps are quite simple. Let's see, write an introduction letter to requesting a recommendation letter. This step should be preceding or succeeding your meeting for where you have resolved to open the bank account. Submit the request to the board, proceed to make payment, and then collect the letters. Just that simple. This is the office contact information of other regional offices, Kisumu, Mombasa, Garissa, and Eldoret, and that's it. That's quite simple. So click the like buttons, click the subscribe button, and also the notification bell so you can get notifications every time we upload new content on our Wiki Procedure website page. So thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best.